Hello and welcome into the Spiritual Noob. We are going to be doing a deep dive on the energy of Taurus today. So before we do that, please like my video, share my video, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Um, and we're gonna talk about the qualities of Taurus really quickly. Taurus is known for being grounded, practical, and sensual. They're also patient, loyal, and dedicated. They value stability and comfort. Taurians are also known for their love of luxury and beauty, and they appreciate the finer things in life. So, positive qualities are patience and endurance, loyalty and dependability, sensuality and appreciation for beauty, grounded and practical, generosity and kindness, resilience and determination, emotional strength and stability, artistic and creative, independent and self confident, reliable and trustworthy. You guys have a lot of positive attributes here. The shadow qualities are stubbornness, materialism, jealousy and possessiveness, lazy and self indulgent, lack of communication, and difficulty with change. So we're going to keep that in mind because I have a couple of questions in this reading. This is my little notepad that are revolve around how you are embodying Taurus energy or how you are resisting Taurus energy. So I wanted to kind of talk about what Taurus energy is first before we go there. And I wanted to start some music. I'm going to try this one more time because my speakers were working earlier. Here we go. Okay, so we have our chakra music, which I appreciate. We are going to look at your overall energy. I did a little cleansing, but just take a deep breath before we get into this. We had two cards come out. So we'll look at both of these energies today. So we have invite your monster to tea. So when I was talking about the shadow qualities of Taurus, did you say, yeah, that's me? Right? That's your monster. I mean, it's not a monster because it's just part of who you are, right? But when you think about yourself and the different shadow aspects of yourself, that's your monster. Now, that doesn't mean if you're a jerk to people sometimes, embrace that, right? That's not what that means. What it means is if you are a jerk to people sometimes, don't run away from that. Like, don't think, man, I hate it when I do that. I'm really going to try hard to like push that down and not do that, right? Don't do that. You want to say, why was I a jerk in this situation? What is being triggered within me to make me react in that way, right? So that's how you invite your monster to tea. It's like when you have something to say to somebody and they don't want to hear it and they're running away and you're like, no, like a child, like a child. You're talking to a child, a 5-year-old, and they do something. They're bullying a kid on the playground or they're doing whatever. Their monster is out. And you're trying to use it as a teaching moment and you're like, little Johnny or whatever, like, you're not supposed to do that. And Johnny's like, I'm not trying to hear it. Like, Johnny's trying to run away from it. And you're like, Johnny, come here. I'm trying to talk to you, right? Come here. What you did right here, why were you acting like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? As a parent, we try, or hopefully people are trying to walk our children through those steps of understanding, like, why was I acting this way in this moment? And is that appropriate or not, right? So don't run away. Don't be little Johnny running away from the conversation because it's important for you to face what's going on here. Communion. Yeah, come into communion with your inner monster, right? Integrate all sides of self. right? Because it's through that. Because what happens is when we come into communion with our inner monster starts to lose power. And then we find ourselves not reacting in that way to certain situations because we've addressed the inner monster. Like, think of it as a person. Think of the inner monster as an actual person. If you ignore somebody, they get louder, right? They get louder. Or eventually they just don't want to deal with you at all, right? So we're not working towards separation of self, right? And we also don't want the monster to get louder than it already is, right? We're working towards integration of self. And the only way to integrate the self and come into communion with the self is to love it, right? To love that monster and say, I love you and you don't need to behave this way, right? Let me know why you're behaving this way. And also, you don't need to behave this way, right? So, things to think about. I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards from the Waite Smith deck for your overall energy to get a little bit more clarity. It's also, you have a number 2 card and a number 3 card. So the number 2 card is about partnership. So that's where the communion is coming from. And the number 3 is the Jesus number, I like to say. So it's like your guides are with you. The masters are with you. So, okay, yeah, because we have the Emperor reversed. You might, like that thing about, like, why are you a jerk to people sometimes? You may be a jerk to people sometimes. Right? And so instead of shaming yourself for that, instead of, you know, maybe you've received messages in your life that told you, like, you're a jerk, people or things have made you feel like you're not a good person, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll be that. If that's what you think I am, I guess I'll be that, right? So you've given your power away by listening to those messages, by shaming yourself, right? And so you have invited the monster in, but you haven't invited the monster in a healthy way. You've invited the monster in and said, okay, I guess you can be in control, right? So we don't want to invite the monster in and let the monster be in control. We want to invite the monster in and love the monster through what it's going through. I hope that makes sense to you. We have 4 of Swords, so this is about meditation. So really think about, like, why do I react to certain situations in the way that I react, right? Why do I do those things? Is that really me, or is that reactionary to something more, like something deeper that I really need to think about? So, like, if you meditate for real, or you're interested in starting a meditation practice, I would pay attention to that. You don't have, I feel like, and people have different opinions on it, but I feel like you don't have to meditate. You don't have to meditate cross-legged like the Buddha. You may get there one day. We all may get there one day. I'm not there. So I don't expect everybody else to be there, right? But the thing is that we can do, meditation is just learning how to quiet your mind and enter a flow state. And there are a lot of different ways that we can do that. We can do whatever you really enjoy doing. Like, when you think about what you enjoy doing that helps you pass the time in a way where, like, you look up and you're like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours that I've been doing this thing, right? I sat down to do this for a half an hour and now it's 3 hours later, right? So whatever it is that puts you in a state where, like, time just kind of passes you by in a way that you don't recognize, that's your flow state. So do that thing more if it's a healthy activity, right? But things like gardening, painting, writing, singing, dancing, conversating. Maybe you like conversation with friends and that puts you in a flow state. You know, journaling, whatever it is. Journaling doesn't put me in a flow state, but I do journal. So at the back of that, you have the sun. So if you invite the monster in and you pay attention to what the monster has to say, you will be more successful in your life. You'll be more successful in relationships. You'll be more successful at work. The energy of success in your life will be magnified, right? Because that integration process, it unblocks you in a way that allows energy to flow through you more freely. So you'll find that things are coming to you more easily. So we are going to look at the obstacle, and we are using the Crow Tarot today. So I also layered the reading with the Universal Rider-Waite Smith Tarot. It's a mini tarot, Rider-Waite deck. I like to shout out the cards that I'm using. So when we look at the obstacle here, you have the Magician and you have 9 of Cups. So you are the Magician. You have an ability to use the energies at your disposal, earth, air, wind, and fire. You know, these energies at your disposal. You may not be doing this consciously, but you understand how to, I want to say, manipulate the energies around you to get what you want. Now, the thing is that this card, I noticed when I was flipping them over, I try not to do this. I want to turn them over like the way they fell, but I picked the first 2 cards up and kind of flipped it and reversed it. So, but there's meaning to that. So this was supposed to come out in the reverse, in other words. So the obstacle is, I think that you negatively manipulate situations to get what you want sometimes. And you do have the ability. Now, I will say that that's for some of you, but also because it did come up reverse, like at the end of the day, it came up reverse. So I would say, but it's an obstacle. So let me think about that. Some of you are using your abilities to manipulate energy in a shadowy way to get what you want. Some of you aren't doing that. Some of you have the ability to get what you want in a positive way, but maybe you're not getting it. Like maybe it's not coming to you. I actually think there's more people in here that are the first option, though. The first thing I said. I think there's more people listening to this reading who are manipulating the situation in a negative way, in a shadowy way, to get what they want. And that's an obstacle. The reason it's an obstacle, you might be like, and I get what I want at the end of the day. The reason it's an obstacle is it creates energetic blocks that have negative impacts on you in other areas, right? So an obstacle, the Tower, right? The Tower and 10 of Pentacles. So you may be getting some of what you want, but you're not getting all of what you want. Or maybe at one point you had all of what you want and you lost it. And the reason you lost it is because there is that energy of manipulation to get what you want, right? You're not always getting what you want in the most positive way. And the Tower, and I also have to say that the Tower, I flipped the Tower around too. So the Tower, the same message is so the Tower as an obstacle in the reverse. You're avoiding a Tower moment. I think it's the first thing I said. I think it's the first thing I said. I think that you're manipulating energies in a negative way. Well, you may be manipulating energies in a negative way to avoid Tower moments and get what you want. But at the end of the day, it leaves you feeling kind of blah with Four of Cups. Four of Cups and Eight of Swords reverse. It leaves you kind of feeling blah, and it leaves you trapped in situations. But the Eight of Swords is reversed, which means that there is a realization that you are trapping yourself in situations. But that's an obstacle because maybe you feel like you've done so much. It's like with the invite your monster to dinner in the Emperor reverse, you have done things to land yourself in situations where you feel trapped. And there's a realization for that. I was going to say sudden, so this may be recent realization. There's a realization that you have done things to put yourself in situations where you feel trapped and where you feel there's a feeling of apathy. Because maybe you do realize that you have manipulated things in a shadowy way to get what you think. And this is the thing. It's like I'm feeling called to say, to get what you think you want, right? To get what you think you want. And this is the thing about life in general. I was talking about this with manifestation. A lot of manifestation teachers will tell you, well, think about exactly what you want and try to manifest that thing. Like focus on that energy and pretend like you have that thing. Now, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but what that's missing is that we don't know what's meant for us truly, right? We're just the avatar. Our higher self is the true being that's running this ship, right? And so we may have things that are meant for us that are way better than what we could ever imagine for ourselves. And so we can limit ourselves by trying to manipulate, which I don't think that's a shadowy manipulation, but it's on the spectrum, right? So when I talk about shadowy manipulation, there's a spectrum. There's like really being a manipulative jerk, and there's, trying to manifest in a way that's probably not for your highest good, right? So, because the universe doesn't look at anything as good or bad. It's just, there's a spectrum of energy here. Where do you lie on the spectrum? Is it high vibrational? Is it lower vibrational? Is it somewhere in between? So then you also have the Chariot, and this is the obstacle. You have a Chariot and the Ace of Swords. The energy is moving to rectify the situation, and you're being guided, you're being given intuitive information to let you know things that are counter to what you've believed to be true in the past. Like you're learning new truths, and the universe is intentionally working to change this energy in a way that is not favorable to how you've been moving in the past. So the universe is kind of sending you messages to say, hey, buddy, It's time to get with the program, right? It's time to get with the program. You can either get with the program or you can really, really enjoy your tower moments, you know? And that's not a threat. That's not like, I mean, it just is. We sit in the energy that we are. We sit in the energy that we're putting out. So I think the universe is trying to just say, hey, you need to wake up to the fact that the energy you've been putting out is not the most positive. Okay, so you have 10 of Pentacles, which is abundance energy. That is very Taurian. Is that how you say it? Taur? That's Taurus energy, because Taurus is all about the good things in life. Beauty, sensuality. Right? There's a shadow aspect to that too, though. So Ace of Swords is, again, that intuition coming in for you. So you have messages coming in for you that are telling you that you're meant to be very abundant. So maybe because you have these messages coming in for you telling you that, you may sometimes feel justified by manipulating the situation in a way that gives you that abundance. But I think I said this before, and if I didn't, if I did say it before, I'm gonna say it again. Your problem is that you're manipulating the energy to get what you think you want, but what you want is not anywhere near what's meant for you. What you want is nowhere near what is meant for you. So you need to stop manipulating the energy in a shadowy way, being the shadow magician, being the emperor reverse. You know, it would be in your best interest to not do that. You can if you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can if you want, right? But there is a cause and effect to everything. So if you want what's really meant for you in the highest perspective, you need to learn how to move with the universal energy instead of manipulating it in a way that is not for your highest good. And maybe there's a need to really realize that what we see as success and stuff like that in this earthly realm is nowhere near what is actual success in the spiritual realm, you know? And so really leaning on what spirit has in store for you may feel funny at first, and it may not bring what you're looking for at first, right? Like, for instance, taking a personal example, like, I'm on YouTube right now, and I don't have a whole lot of subscribers. By the way, if you're watching this video, subscribe to my channel. But I don't have a whole lot of subscribers. And I told my friend, like, because I've done YouTube a few times, right? And I've played around with YouTube, and I've posted videos and blah, blah, blah. And there's times, and sometimes you can piss the YouTube algorithm off when you're posting too much, and you'll be getting like 0 views on your videos and stuff. And that would get discouraging in the past. And I told my friend, like, I still look at my analytics, but I don't care anymore. I have a message that I want to get out there, and I'm putting it out there. I'm going to post when I want to post. I'm not going to listen to YouTube tell me when I have to post. Because it might, you know, when you put those videos, one thing I learned, this is what I learned too. This is what helped me come to this realization. I did a lot of videos last year, and then I kind of stopped, and I didn't even pay attention to YouTube for a while, for like 6 months. And then when I started looking at YouTube again, I didn't have 1 million views on my videos, but people had been watching my videos all year long, like all throughout the year when I wasn't even paying attention to it, right? So the stuff that you put out there, in my situation, the stuff that I'm putting out there is going to be there, right? And eventually there will be an audience for it. You know, I've watched videos on YouTube that were created years ago. When the time is right for people to watch it and receive the message and for it to resonate with them, especially with tarot, something like tarot, right? In order for like people to resonate with the message, it has to be the right time for them personally. So some people might listen to this Taurus reading today or when I post it. Some people may listen to it 2 years from now, right? So I don't need to worry about how many views I'm getting on my videos. It's out there. It'll be available to people. You know, I'll keep telling people, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the more people, you know, people will trickle in and the views will increase, right? So I'm telling you this whole story because one day I might come on YouTube or I might post something on YouTube and it blows up, right? Beyond my imagination. Or somebody might contact me and give me like a really awesome job opportunity or, you know, whatever. I have no idea what's in store for me. I just keep following the breadcrumbs and don't worry about the outcome. I'm not, you know, like I'm not worried about how much money am I going to make this week. I just keep doing what I do. So I think you need a little bit more of that mentality. I think you need to trust the universe a little bit more to give you that abundance, because the abundance is meant for you. But I also think that there's a lesson here. The lesson of you are worth so much more than you even think you are. Your mentality and what you think you're worth, your self-worth, it's not going to bring you in. You're manipulating situations based on your current understanding of who you are and what you deserve. And universe is saying you need to learn the lesson before we're going to give you that abundance. You need to learn the lesson that you're worth so much more than that. So there's healing that's needed. You have the Star card reversed and you have the Page of Wands. This is what I was talking about. There's healing that's needed. You need to do the inner work. There's healing that's needed. You need to really learn your own self-worth. And through that understanding of what you really deserve, you're going to learn to move through the world differently. Right? You're not going to have to manipulate situations to your benefit, because you're going to know that you are entitled to so much more. And also you're going to surrender to the fact that you have no idea what you're entitled to. You have no idea what's coming to you. Stop trying to figure it out and stop trying to put a label on it. Right? It's like, you know, those people who they make $60,000 a year and they drive a fancy car and they have a whole bunch of Jordans and they, you know, whatever the case may be. They're always, when you see them out, they're always dressed to the nines. They, you know, they have jewelry on, nice cologne. But if you were to go home to their house, you would be like, dude, you don't even, you know, and this is not a judgment, but you would be like, you might not even have, I mean, not you, but the person that you're coming across might not even have their own house, right? They might, that's not a judgment either, because I've lived, you know, anyway, I'm chronically ill, so I have a lot of history not having my own house, so that's not a judgment. But I also don't go out dressed to the nines, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But you see what I'm saying? It's like being a true millionaire or billionaire, those people don't dress to the nines when they go out. They're not drawing a whole bunch of attention to their money or their status, right? Because people just know, like, you're worth all this money. Like, they don't need to do that. People who don't need to do that don't do it. So how this is embracing your Taurus energy. I mean, healing and learning how to move through the world differently, not expecting to not acting like you're super abundant all the time when you're not, when you're worth more but you're not there yet because you haven't learned the lesson. Like, moving, this is a person that's starting to learn the lesson, right? They're more grounded because they're working on healing. Oh, that's the wrong cards. They're more grounded because they're working on healing and they're learning how to move through the world differently. That's the energy of grounded and practical, and having emotional strength and stability, resilience and determination. Like the thing I was saying about YouTube, that's resilience and determination. I'm determined. I have a schedule to record and edit and post videos. I don't care if it gets 0 views. I'm posting the video. That's determination and resilience, right? And it's not even about like the hope that one day it'll pay off. It's really about like, I want a body of work. I want a body of work to say, this is my work. This is what I do. These are the messages I have, right? Because once I have that body of work, it'll take me to another place. And that will take me to another place. And that will take me to another place. And the place that I end up in may be way, way better than what I had ever imagined for myself. Okay. So temperance reverse and the magician. Yeah, there's something unbalanced about your magician energy. You have the ability to manipulate things in a way that is not in a shadowy way. And that is a shadow aspect of Taurus, I'm sure. So materialism, you have ideas about your worth based on like materialistic, kind of shallow things, like having a million Jordans. You may be jealous and possessive. You may manipulate situations out of jealousy and possessiveness. You may lack communication. You may not tell people the whole truth about things. Difficulty with change. Like all of the shadow energies really here. And I'm not saying that everybody listening to this video fits this mold, right? But you know what? I would almost say that if you're listening to this video and you don't fit that mold, you probably can relate to it. There was probably a point in your life where you did fit this mold. And you're sitting back going, yeah, I'm glad I'm not there no more. Okay, let's look at how you're resisting Taurus energy. Okay, so how are you resisting Taurus energy? So there's a lot of cards that flopped out for you. I didn't take them all because we'll be here forever. And some of my videos have gotten kind of lengthy. But the Nine of Cups reversed. Well, the Nine of Cups came out for you again in the reverse. And it also came out a third time. Like I think it's the third time it's come out in this reading. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But you have the Lovers. And you have the Nine of Cups reverse. So Tauruses are sensual. They're lovers. They appreciate beauty. They're loyal. They are loyal and dependable. I wonder if you've been that in your relationships. Because you have the Lovers and you have the Nine of Cups reverse. So the Nine of Cups reverse is kind of like, I said in another video recently, like the death of a dream. Here I would say it's more like, I've been saying it's like getting everything you want, achieving your wishes coming true. And I think that you have good relationships. They don't have to be romantic relationships. Take it as it resonates. But you have good people around you and you have good relationships, and you're not seeing that. You're not seeing the people around you as a blessing, you know. And that resists Taurus energy because Tauruses are loyal, dependable. They appreciate beauty, you know, which that's beautiful. When you have good relationships around you, that's a beautiful thing. They appreciate beauty. They're ruled by Venus. So you're resisting Taurus energy in that way. You also have 5 of Wands, which is about conflict, and 3 of Pentacles. So this is a community that's building something together, and there's conflict within this community. I don't know if you're creating conflict within this community. I don't know what your participation in the conflict is, but you definitely do have some participation in the conflict. And you know what? You may be taking sides, because we talked about relationships that you're not appreciating, right? So you may be taking sides against someone in the situation that is right, right? Which is like, Tauruses are loyal and dependable, right? So if you have a really good person in your life, you know, who's giving you good advice, who's always there for you, who's, you know, whatever the case may be, and there's chaos and conflict, and you're taking the side of the chaos and conflict, you are resisting your Taurus energy by doing that. So we have this 9 of Cups again. 9 of Cups. There's something here about having your wishes fulfilled, having everything you want. Something about trying to get that, but you don't surrender. You're not surrendered enough to the universe for that to come in for you. You're not. You're not. You're not healed enough. You don't love yourself enough. And that's not that's not throwing shade. I'm just saying, like, we all have to work on loving ourselves. Because the universe, that energy that's put out when we truly love ourselves, is so powerful that it brings things to us. It brings what we wish into our lives, right? We don't even have to really work for it like that. We do have to work for it, but you have to take inspired action. But that inspiration comes to you so freely. People will come to you, so easily. Like, you'll be at work. This is my experience. I'll be at work and people will come into me. They'll come into the store like, I don't even know why I came in here. And then we'll get to talking about something, and it'll be something I needed. Or, because I read tarot at my store. So maybe they needed a tarot reading. Some message that comes up for them in the tarot reading makes it very clear why they're there. Right? So they were led to me. Sometimes people are led to me to help me, and sometimes people are led to me for me to help them. And that's the same for everybody. Here you have 9 of Pentacles. So you need to plant the seeds to get what you wish. And you're resisting Taurus energy because the positive quality of Taurus is patience. This 9 of Pentacles is not a fast moving energy. This energy, think about it. When you're ready to plant seeds to grow a garden, you're thinking about, I can't wait for those tomatoes to grow. Matter of fact, I planted some tomatoes and they have not sprouted, and I'm disappointed because I want some tomatoes this year. But anyway, when you plant seeds, you be hungry. I'm thinking, I want some tomato sandwiches in August. Like, that's what I was thinking when I planted those seeds. And even if they were growing right now, which they're not, but even if they were growing right now, it's going to take till August for a tomato. It's going to take till August for me to get the tomatoes from it. So this is slow moving energy. You're planting seeds to get to get what you want. You have to have the patience and the endurance to know, if I truly want to get what I'm wishing for, I have to plant the seeds today in order to harvest the fruit a couple months from now, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So your inability, or your desire, your lack of desire to do that, that's resisting Taurus energy, because Tauruses are patient and enduring. Okay, so we're going to look at the advice from Spirit right now. We have Knight of Pentacles reverse, and we have Ace of Pentacles reverse. The seeds you're planting are not fertile. So you're looking for the manifestations of the wishes that you want, and it's not happening. And the reason it's not happening is because you're I think, okay, so the analogy, this is a metaphor with the planting of seeds. The Knight of Pentacles, it's like he's on a horse, he's looking over a field. His job is to monitor this field and watch it grow. He plants the seeds, he watches it grow. His horse really isn't moving much. You know, if it is moving, but it's moving at a slow pace. So you can either, when the Knight of Pentacles is reversed, you can either be planting seeds on barren soil, or you can be planting seeds that aren't fertile. And I think in this case, you're doing both. You're planting seeds on barren soil, meaning you're involving yourself in people, places. You're involving yourself with people, places, and things that aren't good energetically for you. They're not working for your highest good. And the seeds that you're planting also are not fertile. Whatever you're trying to do to gain your manifestations is not, the action that you're taking is not inspired action. Like the divine hasn't come to you and said, hey, do this thing because this is going to bring you abundance. You are disconnected to your intuition, and you're not listening to the guidance that's saying, do this thing. You're not following the breadcrumbs. So the advice, saying all of that, the advice would be to follow the guidance, take inspired action. You know, plant seeds that are fertile on plant seeds that are fertile on ground that is fertile. You know, if you're in an environment that is not good for you, energetically, change your environment. If your mind is not good for you energetically, work on what you're thinking, how you feel about yourself. And I was talking about self-love. Do some inner child work, whatever. So then advice from Spirit, you have 7 of Swords, Eesh, and 2 of Wands. I hate 7 of Swords. I hate that energy. Either you or others, because we talked about there's a group of people where there's a lot of chaos and conflict and drama. There's some lying going on in this group of people. It may be you, it may be other people, it may be both. Maybe you're all lying to each other. And you need to move in a different way. You need to make a plan to cut that out. Right? Because the lying and deception, if you're believing lies that have been told to you, you need to figure out for yourself what those lies are. Because there's something about those lies that have been told to you that are making you, that are influencing your plans for yourself and your life. And I think that if you knew the truth about certain situations, you probably wouldn't plan to do things in the ways that you're planning to do them. So the advice is to figure out what you're being lied to about so that you can start to move differently. Or if you are lying about things, stop lying about things and start moving differently. Six of Wands, this is about recognition. There's some you have Two of Swords reversed. So there's some decision that you're hesitating to make. And you need to recognize what that is. I can't tell you what that is. When I say that, you need to recognize it. With six of Wands, you need to recognize it, but it's there. There's a decision that you need to make. You're hesitating to make this decision. It's the decision that's going to change your energy in a more positive way. It's going to start. You can make one decision right now that's going to change your energy in a way to where now you have fertile seeds and now you're planting them on barren soil. Who knows how long it's going to take those seeds to grow? Maybe you're going to have to plant them a couple times, like me. Maybe I need to go out there and replant my seeds. You know what I'm saying? But you need to recognize what decision you need to make. Because the universe is sitting back, waiting on you to make this decision to change your energy. You're not going to get your wishes fulfilled until you make the decision. So figure out what that decision is. And then we have Knight of Pentacles is showing up again with the Six of Swords reversed. The Six of Swords reversed is about letting go and moving on from things. But I hate the phrase letting go. Because, and actually this card to me is it's more about moving through it, right? To where eventually you let it go. But you always want to make sure that you're healing it in the process, right? You're healing the energy and releasing. So that you don't end up holding on to that energy because it's going to create a block that becomes difficult for you to manifest what you want. And then you have Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, because once you release this energy, you'll have the fertile seeds and the fertile land to start building what you want, to start growing what you want. That is your advice. So let's look at hidden things. Okay, so hidden things. You have King of Wands reverse, and this fell off fell on the floor, and then the Nine of Pentacles, like it came out and it wanted to be seen, and I thought that was interesting because it was like the King of Wands reverse wanted to not be seen, and the Nine of Pentacles wanted to be seen. So I think the hidden thing here is that you're taking a lot of actions with the King of Wands. You're taking a lot of actions that are not in your best interest. And it's because you have a very independent mentality. I want to do this independent, right? You're not leaning on the universe because it really has to be. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you can get messages even without awareness of it. But it's important to develop a relationship with your higher self, right? So that you have direct communication. And we are, as a collective, moving towards that. You know, within the next 50 years, we're going to be there to where like everyone has direct communication or higher self. So, but right now you're not. You're doing it independently. You know, you're building the things that you have in your life. You've built it up independently. So I think the hidden thing for you, and I think the hidden thing for you is that the actions that you've taken have not been good for you. You know, you may not totally realize that. You have your reasons and your logic that make you do the things you do, And you may not totally be aware of the fact that because you're doing it so independently, you're not listening to intuition, you're probably not listening to advice from others. So there's kind of a lack of realization that the actions I'm taking are not in my own best interest. And then we have Four of Wands reversed, excuse me, Four of Wands reversed, and Nine of Swords reversed. So I think that you have a lot of stress and anxiety. And I think that what's hidden into you is that stress and anxiety it's really all in your head. You have control over it. You do, right? And with the Four of Wands, there's a lack of structure. It's the lack of structure that's causing the stress and anxiety. You're not able to celebrate anything for yourself. Because there's a lack of structure. Even having a relationship with the divine, like that I was just talking about, that's structure. You know? And it doesn't matter what you do, whether religious people pray every day. Like that's structure. They're praying to the same source energy that I'm talking to through my tarot readings. They may not realize that, but they are, right? So their structure every day when they're praying before meals and all these things, that is helping them. That's helping to guide them through their life. It's helping to give them that divine connection. And there may be something about their journey in their birth plan and stuff like that they need the structure through like religious means, right? But when I read tarot, that's my structure of connecting to the divine. So find yours. What is yours? Because that structure is going to help you feel like you can celebrate your life. And it's going to help you come out of feelings of stress and anxiety, which are really all in your head. So that's hidden to you, though. You may feel very trapped. It is very, like when we're in our head about stuff, we feel trapped, right? So it's actually more easy to get out of it than we like to imagine, right? And some people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but it's true. The reason I can say it's true is because I did it myself. I did it. I took certain steps and I did it. And it's silly. It's stuff that you would think is silly. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. You right there, you, Sarah, I love you. It's walking down the street and saying, I appreciate the grass. I appreciate the deer over there. I appreciate the trees. I appreciate my legs for allowing me to walk down the street. It's those silly affirmations, and you know what I mean? Like there's things, buying crystals. I have all kinds of crystals. Keeping positive energy around me. Period. But that is hidden to you. The fact that you can get out of it, you can take steps to get out of it, is hidden to you. You have Two of Cups reversed and Eight of Wands. We talked about this earlier in the reading. There are relationships around you. Maybe one, maybe several, but for different people, it's going to be different, right? For some of you, it might be just like your romantic partner. It might be like a relationship with a certain person in your life. For others of you, it might be a family unit, friend unit, friend group, your coworkers, whatever. I don't feel it in a career context, but it may resonate in that context for some of you. There's a lot of energy. I'm almost hearing like communication. You may not be aware of the communication that's going on behind your back regarding this person, these people, this situation. Is hidden to you. There's some communication going on. behind the scenes that you're not totally aware of. And you got the Two of Cups again. Two of Cups and Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. How many times is Nine of Cups reverse going to come out for you? You got Nine of Cups reverse and Two of Cups reverse. So I was talking earlier about, I think that there's several people involved in this chaos and conflict, because earlier I was talking about how there's a person and they came up as the Lovers upright, which is also a spiritual energy, because the Lovers is in the major arcana. So I think this person, you don't see them for who they are. You don't see them in a positive light when they are. This person you're listening to. This person you think is positive and they're not. And they're responsible. I was going to say they're personally responsible, but let me not be that extreme about it. Because you're personally responsible for all the energies in your life. These energies, the external energies, are just reflecting you, right? So, but there's someone in your life that's not great, and you're listening to them, and they're influencing you in a way that's making you not able to fulfill your wishes. It's not able to fulfill your dreams. Whatever you want and that you're not getting, this person is standing in the way of you getting it, and you are listening to them. And it's hidden to you. The reason I'm saying that you're listening to them is because their true self, their true nature is hidden to you. And the connection between them and the things that you want in life is hidden to you. Their energy is impacting you in a way that's making you not get what you want. And you don't even realize it's like someone has COVID, but they haven't, or whatever disease that you can get. Someone's sick with something and it's contagious. They haven't started having symptoms of it, right? So they don't know. You don't know. But you're around them, you go hang out with them, and next thing you know, you're sick. You're like, dude, they get sick first, and then you get sick, and you're like, dude, you gave me whatever. So it's like you're around someone that's impacting you in a way that's making you sick, and you don't realize it. So then we also have Knight of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles reverse. So Knight of Pentacles again. And these two cards were at the back of the deck. So this is like hidden energy. The seeds that you need to plant to build what you want are already there for you. They're already, like, the universe is ready and waiting to give you these seeds, right? And they're going to take you out of this feeling of lack. But again, you have to make the decision. There's a decision that you need to make that it's going to be like signaling to the universe, like, okay, it's go time. I'm ready for the seeds now. Right? And see, this Knight of Pentacles is upright. So it's fertile seeds, right? So yeah, you figure out what the decision you need to make is. It probably has to do with this person or a group of people. Might be a group of people. But you're listening to the wrong people. Whoever is giving you advice, whoever it is that gives you advice and you respect their advice, they're the wrong people to listen to. That's all I got to say. And the right person who knows exactly what's going on, you're not listening to that person. That person was sent straight from the universe to help you out. And you're like, I don't want to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. So you need to figure out, who do you listen to and respect. That person, you need to stop listening to them. And then you need to figure out, who do I not listen to and not respect? Who's the one? And this is going to be like, when you really sit down and think about this, you're going to know exactly who these people are, because it's going to be the people that you sit down and talk to, who you listen to, you respect their opinion. Don't respect their opinion. And then there's going to be someone in your life who's constantly trying to give you advice, and you're constantly ignoring it, poo-pooing it. You might talk shit about it behind that person's back. Like, that person is a person that was divinely sent to you to guide you. You need to start listening to that person. Okay, so let's look at the outcome. You have 8 of Swords reversed, and you have the Moon. So you're feeling trapped in a situation, and you're not sure how to get out of it, but you are going to start to surrender to the universe more. You're going to start to say, in whatever way that you say it, you're going to start to say, okay, I'm going to start following the divine guidance. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where it's leading me to. But I'm going to start. I'll start. Let me just take one step in the direction towards my dreams, towards self-love, towards healing. Let me just take one step. That might be all you have the energy for. And I mean like life force energy. I don't mean like you're too tired to do self-work. I mean like the life force energy. That may be all you have the energy for. Because I think the energy you've been sitting in hasn't been great. You have 9 of Wands and 2 of Cups. So here's this 2 of Cups again. And it's upright. You're going to start partnering up with people that are giving you better advice. And you are going to start knowing what actions to take that are inspired. You're going to be taking inspired action. You're the Knight of Wands instead of the King of Wands reversed. You had the King of Wands reversed earlier. So the King of Wands is a master, right? A master, but reversed, he's kind of a master manipulator. Or a master at taking actions that aren't great for him, right? So now you've been demoted to a knight, right? So the knight is not a master, but he's charging in with positive action, right? Because he's upright. So your outcome is that you're going to be the knight, and you're going to be coming in with positive, intuitively guided action, because you're going to start to listen to people that have your best interests at heart, or the person that we were talking about earlier. But I almost don't want to say it's that same person, only because this is 2 of Cups and that was the Lovers, but it could be the same person. I think that you know what, there may be some shame around the fact that you haven't listened to this person. So you may not go to that person for advice, even though you know they give good advice. You may start to seek out people who give similar advice. You're going to start seeking out people who, like, when you listen to them, you're like, oh, this person would have said that too. That you sound just like this other person, right? So you're going to start to become aware of what advice is good advice and what advice is not to be taken seriously. So that is your reading, Taurus. Thank you guys for stopping by. There will be timestamps below, so I know this is kind of long, but you can skip ahead to like wherever you want to listen to. I personally like in-depth tarot readings. I also do live zodiac readings of all the zodiacs on Wednesday. So if you want to listen to like a 10-minute reading on your zodiac instead of an hour-long reading on your zodiac, you can check out those videos every week as well. And those will have timestamps too. So you can go straight to your zodiac. So Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, Taurus, bye.